You're listening to the 5 Stars podcast, sponsored by Stealth Competitions Limited, exclusively on the 5 Stars website. Subscribe today for content from your favourite Ibrox heroes. Well, welcome to the 5 Star podcast as we talk all things Rangers with a couple of Ibrox icons, Barry Ferguson and Ian Durrant. Always a pleasure. Let's start back to our European misadventure, Genk. Very low crowd at Ibrox. Now, normally in nights like that, the fans will lift the players and vice versa. But it was as flat as I can recall, and it didn't help the way the game panned out, Barry.
Yeah, well, we all know European nights, whether it's Champions League or Europa League, it's always bouncing. As you mentioned there, I don't know, the crowd was at 35, 36,000 and about that. So, yeah, normally European nights, the fans turn up in numbers. Then you get into the game, and to be honest with you, I didn't think they were great, Genk. I thought they were there for the taking. It didn't really help with Deal getting the sending off, but still they cut us open a few times, and at the end it was a disappointing result, let's be honest.
We didn't really have any goal threat, Ian.
It's been the same most of the games. I think I was surprised that Majowski not playing. I thought after the Hibs game, I think we were debating who might have dropped, and I was surprised Majowski never started. But as again, obviously there's a lack of what do you call it, confidence at home now. Yeah. Obviously now with the poor crowd, it started as you said, it started very flat, and the game just deteriorated into a flat game. I thought we were unlucky with Tab at the back post, and another day we could have got a penalty. Then Barry's right, the sending off just changed the whole game in their favour.
VAR again, it just won't go away. You're right, it looked to roll down the arm of the defender, but as it was, it wasn't to be. But, you know, we've got a programme of European games coming up round the corner. Effectively, the club could be down £5, £6, £7 million if the crowds stay at that 30,000 plus level.
That's a worry. You rely on obviously the fans, because generally the fans always turn up in the numbers. But if you're getting crowds like that, it's so obvious it's going to affect financially the club. But all they can do is trying to get results, and hopefully they go to this game on Thursday night against Graz, who are sitting second. I think they're a better team than Genk. Done a bit of homework on them and looked at them, so that's another tough one. But at home, I was surprised, because the special occasions, under the lights, European nights, it's always absolute bouncing.
It's intimidating.
And
for
I was
visitors.
listening to Coisty and Alan Hutton and Scott Arfield talking, and they were saying that they're obviously turning up 2-3 years before the game, and normally there's there's an atmosphere, and it's building. It was very flat, and that's certainly not like Ibrox.
No, and then if we move on a bit to the weekend, terrific getting first 3 points in the league campaign of the season. But my goodness, we made heavy weather of it at times, Ian.
Oh, we spent out of sight in the first half. And obviously, Majowski had a great chance early doors, and then obviously Tab's penalty. And then again, squeaky bum time in the second half, we lose a goal, and then we look as if now we're all over the place again. And then the unlikely source comes on and gets us a winner, Max Arns. He's not had the greatest time at Rangers, but hopefully that's the turning point. But just getting the 3 points was more a relief than I see now that the state of play we're doing.
Confidence is clearly fragile, but the manager said before the game on Sunday that he had to work on the fitness of both Majowski and Chermiti, because neither were ready to be a first pick starter. Surely he's got to get one and hone his conditioning to be his first choice striker, and then the other has to build his way into the competition. At the moment, I think switching them about and trying to replace what was 45 goals last season between Dessers and Igamani, nobody's going to get double figures the way we're playing.
Yeah, but allow your personal pride, Tommy. If you don't think you're fit enough, you've got to go and get. Now we'll get everything at their disposal at the training ground.
Yeah.
And for them now say they're not fit, now that's a personal thing. Now you want to make sure. I know they missed a lot of pre-season in terms of coming in a bit later, but your personal pride should overdo now what you want to do in terms of fitness, and you want to be as fit as you can, because you should be able at this time now after 6 games, you should be able to just come in, play a Wednesday, play on a Saturday. Because Barry will tell you, you don't do a lot of training this time now with the European games, and it's just game after game. So you want to make sure your match fitness is up there.
Surely, Barry, your striker stays in the box, and do we perhaps overanalyse these recordings, the computer recording of player movement?
Yeah, get the ball in the box, Tommy. That's what strikers live for. They're not getting enough service, in my opinion, and I feel for them. They're a bit starved at times. But in terms of going back to the fitness, if you're not playing, what you do is after training you stay back and do a bit extra and making sure you're getting your levels up. Look, match fitness is different, but again, you've got to have a bit of pride in the way you look after yourself and make sure when you get that opportunity you're ready to come in and hit the ground running.
I think it's fair to say the support globally want to embrace this Rangers team, but my goodness, they're not making it easy for the fans to get behind them either. Yeah,
it has been. You look at the game in Sunday against Livingston, first 10 minutes they had a few chances, we settled a wee bit, brilliant to have, got a great goal, and then we looked as if we were gaining a bit of confidence. Then you get at half time, you think, right, we'll motor, we'll get past Livingston, we'll do what we're doing in the first half, and it just kind of switches again, which is the disappointing thing. And then again, Durrant used the phrase squeaky bum time.
Yeah.
I'm watching the game and I'm thinking, oh, here we go again.
We just found reverse gear.
Here we go. We're going to drop. It looks like we're going to drop another 2 points, but then you've got to give them credit. It kept going right to the end, and obviously Max Harden gets that goal, and it was just relief. I was just delighted just to get the 3 points, and now hopefully they can gain a bit of confidence for that.
It was a bit like the Alamo at that stage of proceedings, wasn't it? We had one corner in 45 minutes of the second half. We then got 4 in 3 minutes beyond the 90, when we had lost all shape as a team, and it was get it forward and live off the second balls. His hand was probably forced by the injury, first of all to Cornelius at the heart of the defence, then he lost McOma to injury as well, and it was just get it forward. Are they overcoached?
Well, it's overcoached, no. I just think they're not aggressive enough in Marlon in terms of the way they want it. Now the manager said at the start of the season we're going to play this aggressive, high tempo football. We see it for 10 minutes, but in the 10 minutes that's not good enough over 90 minutes. So we should be putting, now not being disrespectful, we should be run over the top, as Barry said. Livingston, now they're tough opponents, but I think if you get better players and you play in a certain way, you'll win the game. We just seem to have a mode where we go from there, then we go there, and we look as you say, disorganised all over the place, and you can see it now. Even when you're watching the game, you see players looking about. Now who wants it? Who wants it? And that's not the case. It should be now. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago, if you get a shot at that jersey, Barry alluded to about 10 minutes ago, if you've got that jersey, make sure you've got it. But see, just now, you look as though you could go, like, I could put him in, take him out, put him in. There's no structure to the way we're playing. And we looked a bit panicky against a team, but as I said, we should have been out of sight in terms of the chances we created.
You talked about the press. I mean, Livingston had it down to a fine art, first 20 minutes. Then we got round to accommodating it. And then second half we reverted to type, as you say, and Stevie May was allowed to terrorise our back four, effectively. Are we a wee bit soft-centred? Yeah,
well, see, when you come up against teams at Livingston, and no disrespect, Rangers have got better players, so what you need to do is you need to roll your sleeves up and match their intensity and their aggression, and see if you do that, your quality will come through. Just sometimes I think it's a bit up and down. We need to get a level of consistency, because you seen in the first half for a 20-minute period that when we got the ball, we moved it quickly, and we were first to the ball all the time. We showed a bit of aggression. We were a better team. We need to try and continue that throughout a game. Now, it's a difficult ask them to do for 90 odd minutes. I know that's impossible at times, but we need to be better than what we're doing.
And when you've got, in most starting 11s, 6 or 7 new faces, a completely new coaching staff as well, it's a learning curve for them all.
Yeah, but you've got players there that have been at Livingston. You've got Big Jack that's been before. You've got Tav who's been there, Nico. You've got guys who, Big John Suter. So we've got enough experience for these guys to make the new players understand what they're getting into. I mean, you're not going to get surprised with Livingston. You know David Martindale's a good manager. You know he sets his team up. You know they're a physical presence. You go and match that, your quality will come through.
I suppose with hindsight, Ian, Livingston can say their keeper had a birthday. He was outstanding at times, and while Russell Martin appeared to be relatively comfortable with the way the team performed in the first half, I assume from that he's seeing some encouraging signs. It wasn't a fluid performance by any stretch of the imagination.
Just the couple of chances we did create, there was a presence in the box, and I was delighted for Tav because the last few games he's not been in these positions, and he's finished. It was a great finish.
Improvisation's sensational.
Of course it was, but as I said, but when we talk about now the 6 new players now, Ashgard and Rothwell probably came from the toughest league in the world, that championship, and they should know what it's all about. And Derek said, the living manager, he knows the game inside out. He knows that they've got a physical presence. We just don't stop when we're under the cosh. We don't seem to be stopping crosses, and just seem to give teams chances all the time. You just see it, you can see it coming, the ball goes down back, then you just see the ball in the box. You know, as soon as it goes in the box, you're going, oh, that danger. And that's now, we need to stop giving them now. I think when I'm watching the game, we're having too many power cuts.
Yeah.
Now, but when we're on top now, it's flat. We need to get back now to what we're good at. And we showed wee bits and bobs in the first 15-20 minutes after we settled down that we are a good team in terms of when we can play and the chance we created.
They do need
see
to.
Another thing, even like during games in Durrant, I'll tell you this as well. Sometimes the opposition are going to have a 5-minute period, but what you need to do is you need to make sure we're solid and we're getting nothing away, because we'll get back into the game. But you give Livingston a lift with a cross. I think you've got to stop the cross at source as well. You've got to be more aggressive. The ball comes into the box, we've got to manage that better as well. So look, there is positives for the game, but also there's negatives that we need to work on and make sure we don't allow it to happen. Part
of which is concentration levels. For me, the equalising goal, as you said, stop the cross, but they take a quick throw in, 2v1, and it's only Gassama that's out there, and he sort of trots across without any purpose, and that's when the ball comes in and is the undoing of it.
That's when your experienced ones, Barry said now, like Suter and Tab, they've got to keep control of the situation.
Talk better.
Yeah, of course. Now communication, make sure you're back in defending. Now you see the height of some of the boys they've got in Livingston's. So now if you jog back, then they take a quick one. That's what. As soon as you jog, you're vulnerable. Yeah, you need to sprint back and get back into position, because now at that time you're still 1-0 up. They're having to be back at the game, so you've just got to now stop the game, but don't give them easy chances.
Durrant just says it, sprint back.
Yeah.
And then when there's a foul, don't turn your back and walk away, face the play. You have to be aware, you have to be concentrated at all times.
I think Livingston was probably a terrific dress rehearsal for the weekend coming when we go to Falkirk. Same artificial pitch. John McGlynn working back to front, high press, high tempo, stop you playing. How do we break that?
Well, we're going to have a tough game on Thursday now.
Of course.
The travel aspect of coming back from Vienna. And again, you're back in it again. Now we keep going on at these surfaces, but deal with it. That's just part and parcel. There's Kilmarnock, Livingston and Falkirk, so deal with it. So we'll get the tough game. Then we just got to take Falkirk. As I said, now we've got to try and build on what we've got. We've just got our first win in the season now. So you've got to try and now make it as positive as we can, and try and start building things and start getting now more points on the board and obviously better performances.
A win bonus for the players.
Yeah, Tom, I'm saying that's the nature of the beast when you're at Rangers. You're expected to play 3 games a week.
But these players maybe didn't quite understand that.
Well, they need to understand it because it's Rangers.
Absolutely. You touched on...
There's no tiredness come into the equation. You give everything you've got on Thursday night, but listen, you've still got enough rest period in between. They're brilliant and looked after. They've got good medical staff. They've got all the stuff they need. They just need to make sure they go to Falkirk, which again is going to be another difficult game. But see, if you want to challenge and you want to be up there towards the end of the season, these are the games you need to go and win.
The rest are irrelevant. You know, Hibs getting a draw at Celtic, it doesn't matter.
I don't care.
We've got to do what we do.
I don't care about what goes on anywhere else. I care about what goes on at Rangers. That's the most important thing.
Do you feel a wee bit for Russell Martin as a human being? You know, he's taking some flack there, but he seems to have real thick skin.
Yeah, it's been a tough start. It's been a tough start for him, but he'd been under no illusions coming up. Now the enormity of the task he was taking on, and then having to change, as we spoke about, change your team. But he looked, when you seen the signs, he looked to have brought in some like solid citizens, you call them, big experience, know now the game.
Yeah.
So he's that's what you need, a backbone at Rangers, Tommy. There's a man beside me, he'll tell you. And if you've not got the backbone in terms of now being thick-skinned, then they'll see it. They'll see that fear. If you show any fear at Rangers, you've no chance.
You experienced the other side of it, Barry, when the fans, you win at Celtic Park and there's Barry Ferguson. I mean,
but
what was
also
that like
experienced at home when we had a few bumps where listen, I was honest after the game in my pressers, it was nowhere near good enough, nowhere near what's expected at Rangers. I took flack for the stands. Is it nice when you're standing there? No, it's a lonely place, but I couldn't argue with him. I couldn't even be disappointed because the fans were spot on. It wasn't good enough. And what you need to do is you need to go and roll your sleeves up and work even harder to make sure you change it. And it must be tough for Russell. Like, he's human. It must be hurting at times. But what he's been saying,
there's only one way out of this.
Yeah, he's got to just continue to try and win games. Now that's a start against Livingston. Was it great? No, it wasn't. But it's 3 points. That's the most important thing. And now let's hopefully that brings a bit of confidence and we can work towards getting a decent result midweek. But it's domestically that I'm more concerned about that, because we need to be challenging.
It's the 5 Stars podcast. With Stealth Competitions, always good to have your company and talking Rangers with Barry and Ian there. Let's have a look at the trip to Austria. You played against them the year 2000. What's your memories, Barry?
My memories were tough. They've got a lot of players that we didn't really know, but once you watched them on video, you understood they were a good team. And any away day in Europe's always difficult. You need to be set up really well, because obviously you're away from home. The home team have got the home fans behind them, and it was all about making sure you were solid. And we always played, no matter what teams, whether it was under Dick Advocaat, McLeish or Walter Smith, we were always set up to hit in the counter. First and foremost, just make sure you don't get anything away, and then hopefully you can get something going forward. But it'll be a tough game. They're sitting second in the Austrian league, so it's not going to be an easy one. But again, we need to go and show a bit of resilience away from home in Europe.
They've got 5 wins out of 7 league games in the Austrian Bundesliga. Interestingly, Barry mentioned they're doing the homework. Ian, you would be often dispatched by Walter Smith to come back with the blueprint and how to win the game. What would be your kind of normal instruction, and how do you relay that back to the coaching staff when you've gone and seen opponents?
You're picking out their key players, obviously, and how they're set up, and where they're vulnerable. Just key things, how their set pieces are. But mostly it's their players you're looking for now, their star players, and they're always earmarked anyway, so you know what sort of players, because we do our due diligence before we go. But the last time I went to see a player there, we were looking at a player, and it was Arnold Schwarzenegger Stadium. Right. And he was there that night, honestly. I haven't seen it. Big Arnold. The Terminator. Oh, it was brilliant. But just doing your due diligence. You'll know what they're all about, and where their strengths and hopefully their weaknesses are. And if we can exploit their weaknesses, it'll be good.
See, Durrant would go away and look at the teams and that, but also would let you know, listen, good pubs and all that. This
tour guide. Judith Chalmers.
Oh, I remember just outside the stairs, a lovely hot dog. Loved it.
Well, you do get a decent hot dog there, that's for sure.
Some size, isn't they?
Massive.
It was more than decent.
Yeah. Plenty of mustard.
I missed the start of the game, it was that big.
And an Austrian beer. That 2000 meeting against Sturm Graz, they won 2-0 on their own patch, 5-0 at Ibrox. I mean, it's hard to imagine this differential on scorelines over 2 games.
I know, but we absolutely battered them at Ibrox as well.
5 different scorers.
Aye, but again, it's always difficult away from home in Europe. That was the Champions League, and they were a strong outfit. They had a lot of international players, not just Austrian internationals. They had Germans. They had quite a number of top players, and it was that was a night. Listen, we weren't good enough in the night. They deserved to beat us. And as I said, it was a total different game at Ibrox when we obviously took the game to them, and we were right on it that night.
Do you remember who was on the bench
for
Rangers? This is unbelievable for that match against Sturm Graz.
I mean, how many
2000.
years are we talking? 25 years ago?
Yeah, 25 years ago.
Jesus Christ, man.
Can't remember 25 minutes ago.
Right, give me the bench.
Charbonnier, Rickson, Vidmar, McCann, Tugai, Billy Dodds, and Kanchelskis. Can you believe that was the bench? Everyone an internationalist.
No, it's not a bad bench shot.
Yeah.
What was the starting lineup?
I've not got that down.
Come on, you've got to be doing your homework better.
We thought he came on and scored.
He scored, yeah. 5 different scorers. Moles, Ronald de Boer, Alberts, Giovanni van Bronckhorst, and Dodds. Some names I've listed there, Ian.
To be that's not bad. By the day, any of them about Thursday, no?
Alberts could maybe just let one go from distance.
It's now that obviously this league format now, it's imperative you pick up some away points now in terms of how you go on the table. But now, when Barry said it was now home and away, so 2-0 is actually not a bad result sometime away from home, because you know you're getting them. And I think I remember that night we got an early goal, I think, through Mikey Moles, and that's steadied it. And then we just, now, as Barry said, we ran over the top of them. But it'll be extremely hard, not just because now we're away from home, but now you see there's a lack of confidence in Europe just now in terms of the results we've had, and this might be the wee pick-me-up we need.
After the win on Sunday then, the players spending time together, travelling in the hotel together, how helpful could that be, Barry?
It's always helpful. I mean, as you said, that they'll travel on Wednesday, they'll go and they'll have a look at the stadium, and then they'll spend Wednesday night together, and then you go a walk on Thursday. So it's important that they get used to one another. But I think they've had long enough now, Tom. There's been a lot of the players been in for a while, and it's just making sure. I hope we go over here and we're solid.
Yep.
Sometimes we're a bit wide open, and you've got to be respectful when you're in Europe. I know they're no top teams, even like Genk, who I thought are not the best. They opened us up. I know we were down to 10 men, but sometimes you just got to shut up shop a wee bit. And I just hope we go here on Thursday and we keep it defensively tight, because going forward we have got players that can do a bit of damage and hit them on the counter attack and for set pieces. So I just hope we approach it in a different way, because Europe is totally different for domestic football.
In the event that we get a penalty kick, is Tav still on them?
Oh, 100%. Look, he'll be disappointed he never scored, but that'll no faze him.
Yeah.
He'll make sure, listen, he'll be desperate for a penalty in Thursday night, and if we do get a penalty, he'll be the first one to grab it, and he'll step up, and I'm sure he'll put it in the back of the pokey.
Do you agree with that one, Ian?
Oh, would I? Of course, I think there'll need to be a square goal to get the ball off him.
Or Majowski might just fancy it.
Well, whatever, but Tav will first look at it. Talk back about Tav, his goal on Sunday.
Incredible.
What a finish.
See,
and that's like the old Tav memory in the box, because you're going, why is he right back? Where's he going?
Yeah.
And he pops up.
Yeah, see, Tav, there was another clamour during the summer. He needs replaced, and he's losing it a bit. I seen it for the 3 months closely. I didn't know him personally, but I just seen what he'd done on the pitch, and I always rated him. I always respected him. But see,
were you surprised when you worked with him on a daily basis?
He's a person, one of the best guys I've came across in terms of training. Every single day gave everything, never missed a session. Was one of the first in, so professional. And it must have been hard for him not playing at the start of the season, but I was telling people, do you know what? He'll be angry, he'll be disappointed, but he'll not be a different guy in the dressing room. He'll still get behind his teammates, and when he gets that chance, he'll grab it with both hands. And listen, since he's grabbed that chance, I think he's been brilliant for Rangers since he come back in.
Tav fan, Ian?
Oh, of course, 100%.
He's close on 100 league goals.
But he's in the 550 games he's played for the club.
Yeah.
Now, there's not a lot of people in the club now have done that, and as Barry said, I can't remember him missing a game. Or he's had the occasional injury, but he's always been
No
there.
long term thing.
I know, as Barry said, he was always in for training. That's what your captain does.
Who are the other leaders? I imagine.
I'll get just a quick one on Tav, right? Obviously, I took the job, and I'd met him a couple of times just walking past him.
Socially.
Saying, all right, how you doing? And honestly, I had 10 minutes with him, but see, after a couple of minutes, I knew he was a man to lead us. I knew it straight. I knew from what he was saying to me how much it meant for him to play with Rangers.
Right.
And I think he gets a lot of, as I mentioned, unfair criticism, but he's so passionate about the club, so proud to wear that armband. And because when I came in, there was a lot of people saying, is he going to change him? Give it to whoever. No, there was no way I was giving it to anybody else after I spoke to him, because I seen in his eyes how much it meant.
Who else did you want to win with at that time?
Most of them, Big Jack and Nico quite a few times.
Yeah.
But again, I said to you, Nico's a brilliant
That's
kid.
what you got to manage these guys.
Listen, Nico's just interested in the reasons why you were wanting to play him further forward. And listen, I've no issues with that at all. He was just interested in how you seen him playing and why I thought he would be better in that position. And I thought he flourished the last couple of months.
Ian Rothwell you had a chat with the other week at Ibrox. He came off the bench again at Livingston and looked sharp.
It gave us a wee spark again, obviously coming on, so my wee pep talk must have
paid a dividend.
I'm dying to meet him again, because I don't think I understood now, as we said last week. I don't think he had a clue what I was talking about, but it seemed to give him a bit of perk, honestly.
wee bit disappointing that Cameron didn't make Livingston, despite that was the sort of target coming back from injury, because he gets about the pitch and he's got an eye for a goal. So he might be a handy guy from the bench in Austria.
It might be, I think, but just reading between the lines, I think obviously he had the calf injury and going on to the surface. It might have been a bit too early, but again, we need all our good players in the squad just now. As I said, with the amount of games coming up, and now that the healthier squad is, the better now, because we've a couple of knocks here. We touch and go for Cornelius, I think, in terms of now Thursday night.
And Macoma as well.
Exactly. Can you risk him? And now obviously with the Falkirk game comes up, it's a big ask, but that's why you build a squad nowadays, so you can cope with these sort of now games.
And you want competition for places.
Yep.
When you're in that starting 11, you want to keep a hold of that jersey. And if you don't perform, you know there's somebody on the touchline or even in the stands that are going to take your place.
Let's talk Chermiti. Big transfer value. He looks to have the character to carry that pressure of the transfer fee, but I don't know where his best position is. Stay between the sticks, but he doesn't do that.
Yeah, I've not seen enough of him, if I'm being honest with you. Even if you look online, you struggle to get footage.
His last goal, let me tell you, November 2023 for Everton under 21s against Mansfield. So he's going to have to find a knack of delivering goals.
On his shoulders, because of the size of the fee. I know he's young. You need to obviously be careful with that, but I'm sure he'll understand what size of club Rangers is. And when you bring somebody in for that sort of transfer fee, they need to really hit the ground running. He's not had a lot of games. He came on again at the weekend. I actually think he'll start him
over there
on Thursday night. Yeah,
for his presence.
What he's been doing. Well, obviously last week he went. Miovski never played, where I thought he would have played because he got his first goal against Hibs.
I would agree.
And obviously they're saying about his fitness levels, and the only way you're going to get fit is playing games of football. But again, what I will say is there is going to be a lot of pressure. That's just what comes, I'm afraid, with obviously the money that Rangers have paid, and he just needs to find that first goal. I think if he finds that first goal, then hopefully that will spark a bit of confidence in him.
On Sunday at Falkirk, Ian, would you be tempted perhaps to play two up top, the way we finished the game at Livingston, play both Miovski and Chermiti?
I would, but I don't think the manager, it's not in his philosophy playing two up front. I think now the way he sets his thought now with the wide men and the one through the middle. If I was a Rangers manager, I would certainly be going, especially at home, with two forwards.
A few goals would do wonders for confidence.
We talk about Chermiti, he just needs something now. We've spoke about now Scabby 1-0. It could be now come off his backside or something just to get the right leaf. He never organised the transfer fee. He's only a part of it now, a deal going through. So, but I've seen him about it. The club, he's got a bit of a swagger.
He has.
And so hopefully he can now, as I say, we'll Barry spot on, just get that goal. Let him know. We're crying out for something.
And the fans want a hero.
Of course, and hopefully now he's probably wearing one of the most iconic jerseys in the club, the number 9. And that comes with a lot of baggage. And so hopefully he can go and do the business.
100%. Lots of games coming up thick and fast round the corner. And of course, for the 5 Stars podcast, if you've got a question for the boys, you know the drill. A quick WhatsApp voicemail, and we'll put the questions to the boys on your behalf. We have a couple coming up a wee bit later this afternoon. As ever, we've got the A to Z, the alternative A to Z of Rangers, which always brings a wee bit of great memories to the table. Today, I think we're looking at G, H and I. And actually last week, the one I forgot, I get carried away with Frank, aka John McGregor, but Big Dunk was the one I wanted to ask about. Duncan Ferguson as the F. And I knew you shared a flat with him down at Everton.
It was last week we stayed in the hotel, but we had to get to the hotel. Now it just becomes a bit claustrophobic, and fortunately now Everton had a couple of flats but the new stadium was over at the dockside. And remember TVM used to do the weather. I was right below.
Island.
Remember the island? I was right below our flat. And me and Big Donkey, we used to have a coffee in the morning. We see this wee guy jumping out for Belfast out his Ferrari, walking up and down. And
not literally.
I know, but no.
When they set,
obviously the weather, and he was used to wear these obviously.
Surely you can remember that.
No.
Fluorescent jumps. You don't remember the weather, man?
No.
It was brilliant, right in the water.
I'd be at work by then.
We moved into the flat, And a big donkey, I go, right, there's a Tesco down the road there, going, might go and get some food, I'll cook it night. Yeah, what like that? I goes, go get some chicken breast, some pasta, some sauce, a wee bit of cheese, a wee bit of soup, some bread, milk. Now, just the
basics.
The basics. And then about 20 minutes later, the big man come back with 15 pot noodles.
Unbelievable.
He goes, he hadn't been here in, they hadn't been in the shops before. He's obviously his mum and I had done it on. He said he panicked, and it was now as you went to Tesco, right to the front, there was a deal on pot noodles. He just grabbed 15 of them. Oh, here for 2 days.
The diet of a professional footballer.
Oh, what a boy! And then so I went down and fortunately got stuff. And then after that, he just kicked on. He went to another level with Everton.
He was on Monday Night Football last night.
Was he really?
Aye, Everton West Ham game. He was good.
Aye.
Good to listen to.
Just dressed like Johnny Cash with black hair and money.
He's
I
actually.
wouldn't want to mess about with him,
No.
by the way.
No, definitely not. Some of the YouTube footage is sensational.
Aye.
Get your retaliation in first.
Exactly.
Aye,
Duncan Ferguson.
When we joined Everton, they didn't have a punch bag, so he went out and bought a punch bag and put it up. And every morning he was on the pads. Oh, he loved it.
I remember we played a testimonial for Dave Watson down there, and it was before the days of email, and I've sent a fax. I was working for a radio station and asked if I could get 5 minutes with Duncan Ferguson about the Scotland situation, because he decided he wasn't playing for Scotland anymore, and the PR people at Everton come back and said, yeah, we'll try and set that up for you. So after the game, the Dave Watson testimonial, I'm in the tunnel, everybody's gone, only Big Duncan still to come out. And I'm standing there about an hour and a half after the final whistle, easily, maybe even longer. I'm standing in the tunnel, the dressing room door opens. Big Dunk walks out with this man mountain of a minder with him. I says, Duncan, Tom Miller, a bit for radio. I sent a text. Could you give me 5 minutes? I don't. Beep. Think so, pal. Didn't break stride and kept walking. 2 hours I've waited on him. Didn't break stride, and that was Duncan Ferguson.
I actually swapped jersey with Duncan that night after the game. Yeah,
that's an interesting one because.
And me Jimmy Bell took it.
Did he? Did you never get it back?
No, I wasn't. I think me Jimmy was wanting big donkeys. But
see, everybody thinks he was just a big.
No, it was more to
head.
that.
He was technically,
the left leg was terrific.
Technically,
he shift as well.
Yeah,
but he was a handful.
Not half.
That's brilliant.
He could mix the game up.
The one the two boys broke into his house. Liverpool just
They'll do that again.
No, that was a worst nightmare.
Bad decision that was.
Oh, imagine the big man swinging at you, no way, man.
Yeah, that was it Macaulay Culkin? Yeah. Almost, wasn't it? Home Alone. They picked the wrong home that night.
Oh, jeez. Oh.
Talking characters, we move on to G in our alternative A to Z of Rangers. And I'm thinking G, genius. Gascoigne, yeah, probably genius. Gallus, Duncan Ferguson was probably Gallus. Then I thought goalies. Genius, goalies, G, Gorham, Griggs. How lucky were we to have goalkeepers of these qualities on and off the park? I mean, what's your memories of both these guys, Ian? Griggs and Gorham.
Well, Griggs was a kid when I was, obviously, we were just coming to the end of our career, and Griggs was coming in, but there was a lot of good reports about in terms of Barry Pro talking about Griggs more, but he went out loan. Now, we went to Dunfermline and now he earned his stripes, now he learned the game. I think he went out about like 21, 22, wasn't he, like a kid. And the goalie, he was frightening. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the best now. You think I played with Chris Woods, and I didn't think Chris Woods could get better, but the goalie came in and surpassed Big Woodsy, and what an achievement! Great boy. And sadly not with us, but in the dress room, a character. Sometimes you look up and you think, now, is he alive? Now he's just sitting in the corner. Then he just stick it. Now the Superman suit, we called it. Now stick that jersey on the Saturday, and that was a pair of gloves. Wasn't the biggest, but massive hands.
Right.
Honestly, you think now, see some of his saves in the top corners.
Agility.
He was frightening. Wasn't the greatest trainer. Hated training, hated running, but just unbelievable character. And now, we see now flashback some of the saves he had, and he always loved it because he bomber and golf and some really good centre halves. Because he wasn't the greatest at coming off his line, the goalie. So, but when he had to, he made sure he used to take bodies.
Right.
And his positional sense, 1v1s, frightening. But just a right good lad, and off the park, and an even better lad. He loved a wee night out. You
forget the way home sometimes.
Oh, for days maybe. And you never seen him at training. As I said, he turned up, and that was him. He was a one-off. He's the best I've ever played with.
When you imagine that you actually get the call to go and play for Man United after he'd left Rangers, he'd been at Motherwell and got a call for Alec Ferguson.
He thought it was Ferguson. He thought it was Coisty taking the piss, didn't he? And then he put the phone down. The next minute, Sir Alex phone back again.
It's for real.
And then you get these opportunities now. As I said, now we get the chance to play with Man United, and I don't know. You see so many teams he's played for. He's had a right few teams into the goalie. He just popped up every 2 weeks now for somebody else. But that's a great shout, man. Sir Alex phone you up in the twilight of your career. Do you want to come to Manchester to the end of the season? Good on him.
It tells you just how good he was
at
that time, even in the twilight.
I think it was Walter recommending him as well. I mean, not like Walter.
Right, you must have seen Goran play, but you played alongside Griggs.
Obviously, Durrant was my favourite, but he was one of the 9-in-a-row team. He was just phenomenal. I played with him a few times, and listen, what can you say about him? Just wasn't the biggest, as Durrant says, but oh my God, man, what a goalkeeper he was. Used to love watching him, and he was always, as a young apprentice coming in, he was always one of the guys that would always spend a bit of time and ask you how you got on in the youth team games and all that. So he went away up in my estimations, because obviously that's one of your heroes, and he's interested to see how the young teams did.
And Griggs, Alan McGregor.
Listen, he had everything. He's the best goalie that I've played with. I know I've played with Andy Gorham, but only played with Andy Gorham in a handful of occasions. But Griggsy had everything. I remember I was 17. We were playing the Glasgow Cup. Our goalkeeper in the youth team at that time was injured, with a young 15-year-old that says coming in for Edinburgh, going to play in this game. And very quiet in the dressing room. But I tell you, seen that whistle went. Maniac.
Game head on.
Maniac. Brilliant. Made some saves. And then I thought he'd done the right thing as a young goalkeeper. He could have sat about at Rangers, but he made the decision to go and loan to Dunfermline and St Johnstone, get that experience. And then he come back, and wow, what a goalkeeper, what a guy, and a good friend as well.
When you made the call to invite him to be part of your backroom staff, how did he react?
Before I even finished asking him would he come, he'd says, aye, when do I start? Because it's his club.
Yeah.
And obviously he hadn't been back since he retired, and I think I've said this to you privately, it's his first coaching job, but oh my God, man, was I impressed by him. Attention to detail.
Really?
And I think if you ask Jack and Liam and the younger goalkeepers, they love working with him. He was one of the first in.
Russell, if you're watching us this afternoon, there's a wee message for you.
I know he was brilliant, and in the dressing room again, because a lot of people think Griggsy's crazy, and he is crazy, right? But he's also quite quiet at times. But see, when it was like game day, just turned into an animal. And then during the games in the dugout, sometimes I had to turn around and say to him, "Hey, calm down a bit, man," because he was ready to take the heat off the fourth official a few times. But that's just pure passion in my eyes.
Understandably.
And again, I'll go back to playing with him in that European run we had. Disappointed to get injured.
Yep.
But some of the performances he had. I remember Werder Bremen.
I
mean, I think they had
Gordon
about
Banks save.
86% possession. They battered us. I must have touched the ball about 10 times. But what about that save?
Yeah.
That's up there with the best I've ever seen.
100%. Two great goalies, great memories. Interestingly, you said he was a hero of yours, which made me immediately think, who was the outfield players that were good in goals when you, at training or whatever, you got the gloves on at every opportunity?
Usual.
Everybody did.
McCoy Stoke was a goalkeeper.
Seriously?
Remember we signed Andy Dibble?
Yep. Him with the lettuce wrists on loan from Man City.
We were jogging round, right? And Hodgie was
Alan Hodgkinson, keeper coach.
Shots. Big Dibs was dropping everything, right? So next minute, Coisty just walks out. He comes out the warm up. Right, Archie, give me the gloves. Right, but this time Archie's now he's going right. I'm getting goals. Right, the Big Dibs must have felt about that size. And but Coisty thought he could play anywhere.
Some things never change.
Oh no.
Now he does broadcasts everywhere.
Big Andy Dibble, man, he was only at Rangers for 6 months. He's got a Rangers tattoo and all sorts.
Fun enough, we might come on to that a wee bit later.
That's for another day. That
made his debut in an Old Firm game 1-0, clean sheet. Yeah. Terrific.
1-0.
1-0, yeah.
Loud up stole it half me.
Well, if somebody's going to do it, that's as good a name as any to
I
drop.
was going to give him it.
That's his est,
But
you know.
honestly, he came in and he had a couple of great saves for George Cadetta that day.
Yeah.
Aye, that sort of one.
Adrenaline.
Yeah.
Big lumpy a boy, I remember
Was
when
I?
I was
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
on an
he'd- he'd
apprentice.
I think he's still coaching goalkeepers down at Swansea or
I think he's
something
still
like
down there, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he just inhaled helium, size he's not.
that. Andy Dibble, Lone Ranger, who did a terrific job in those days. Moving on to H in our A to Z of Rangers. Hampden, what's your favourite memories, each of you guys? Ian,
I love going there.
Barry,
I'm
from Hampden.
I'm good.
one particular special event sticks?
You played
Probably.
in the older stadium,
Yeah.
didn't you? I know you played in the new one, but the older stadium was a lot better atmosphere. Fire in.
90 odd thousand. We had some record there at Hampden under now, obviously. The big job first, they play the first game, then obviously Walter and Soonest. Now I think I get beat once, now maybe 14, 15 times. That's with Scotland as well. I played with Scotland at the international level, never get beat once there. I had a great time now, the old stadium. It was really now really old now the main stand, remember?
When the ash used to fly up from the punters.
The dust, but the main stand, like you looked at it, it felt as though it was just
On a
going to
slant.
fall into the pitch the way it was.
Yeah.
And you sat in the stand, which I've done a couple of times watching game now, it just moved about, and you're worrying. And as I said, you used to see the Rangers end with the dust. You never seen the game for 10 minutes after that.
That's
If you
right.
if you get a
And it
goal,
wasn't pyrotechnics like nowadays.
I remember I went to watch Rangers v Dundee United, Tom, and I got a ticket for the Rangers end, and Ian Redford missed a penalty.
Yeah.
But we didn't know he'd missed a penalty because couldn't see the dust, and we didn't know Ian Redford missed a penalty.
Was that the cup final replay?
We could replay it. It was a David Cooper Cup final after that.
Yeah.
But we didn't know Ian Redford had missed a penalty.
That's incredible, eh?
You come back for Hardy, you look big, like Chi Chi the Panda with big black eyes, honestly, on the dust.
Just all the stew that was
Yes.
lifted. Barry, any special memories for you?
Aye,
National
well,
Stadium.
the one at jumpsuits, the cup final, innit?
Love and
2000.
Transera.
Aye. Aye, that's the one at jumpsuit. I'm a bit different. I don't like the atmosphere at Hampden.
Yeah.
No, I didn't like it.
Because you're too remote from the fans?
Aye, they're too far away. I like fans right
Yeah.
on top. You don't get me wrong, like the old firm games are bouncing. But sometimes the atmosphere, like semi-finals, it wasn't the best. But that one's the best one because you score the last kick of the ball, they go and take kick off, and then they all drop, and we're just going absolute mental.
Yeah.
So I've had a lot of good memories. Won 5 League Cups and 5 Scottish Cups here.
It's not bad, is
but
it?
that one 2002 beats them all.
Yeah. And what about the Conterman goal that night?
Oh, aye, well, I just
Were you
couldn't
wanting to pass?
Aye, but I just couldn't believe he scored. But that's one thing about Big Bert. He could ping a ball. I was right behind it, and I swear to God, he's had it sweet as a nut. Couldn't have hit it any better. Flew into the top corner. Aye, what a strike that was.
Yeah. Semi-final of the Cup, Bert
Aye.
Conterman against Celtic at Hampden. You mentioned a name there, of course. A goal we all revere and love watching it. Back at every opportunity is Peter Lovenkrands. Have you seen his recent social media stuff?
Do you know what? I get it sent during
Right.
the weekend.
Yeah, his
By the way.
Strictly Dancing.
How good's he?
It's not bad, is he? Yeah.
The press ups, I've seen him jumping about. Was it very acrobatic, wasn't it? It was excellent.
Peter Lovenkrands in the
Yes.
Danish version of
I know.
Strictly Come Dancing. Favourite to win it.
That's what you say. His favourite, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, good on him.
The twinkle feet.
He had a couple of moves on the pitch as well, you know what I mean? But he's certainly proven that there's still a bit of magic in his legs.
He's certainly enjoying himself.
Quickest player I've ever played with.
Seriously, the
Oh my
acceleration.
God! I used to say to him, "Don't come towards the ball," and that's not been disrespectful. But he used to make a average ball look a brilliant ball. All you need to do is just clip it, and he would get onto it.
He would get there.
Aye, he was, and he was better through the middle. By the way, he came as a wide player, and I think Peter will tell you he was a centre forward. Then he came and we played him in the wide area. Then McLeish put him through the middle, and he was phenomenal for us through the middle.
Impossible to sort of pick up when he
Oh, it
getting
wasn't.
behind.
Aye.
If you time, see the time, as Barry says, see the time I watched it. If you time you run right, you're not catching them.
Aye.
Yeah.
Oh, you could catch pigeons.
Well, that was a wee deviation there on Peter Lovenkrands. We wish him well in the
He's
Strictly
always
Come
got
Dancing.
something
H, still sticking with H. A quick one. The hairdryer. Who gave you the hairdryer treatment?
Oh, fuck that.
And
Who's
what- and why?
Who's no gave me
What was the worst you had then?
Soon as I remember, soon as Barbie and Walter gave it to me one day, and I was on the post. Right? and I came off the post.
Defending the post.
Defending the post, right, but we wouldn't have had us. But I've come off the post early, and the gaffer was a stickler, right? And they were winning 4-0. We're beating Dundee 4-0 at half time. And they come in and it wasn't well done, lads. Now the 4-0, keep it going. See you ever come off a freaking post again, right? And then so he came away, and then next minute Archie Knox, aye, I put the set pieces up. They gave me pelters. See you next week. We're playing Partick Thistle. I was handcuffed to the post. I wasn't moving off it. And I've seen a few hairdryers. He got a hold of me one day, Walter. I was lifted off the deck.
That's the side you didn't see very often.
Filled it a 50-50, which I never done again.
Bit of a message there. Barry?
I've had that right few. But do you know what? The worst one I've had wasn't even in a first team game. It was a youth team game in the Glasgow Cup at Ibrox. I missed a penalty against Celtic. Celtic beat us in penalties. I walked in. I wasn't watching him lift the trophy. And Walter Smith came down for up the stand.
Seriously?
Aye.
He'd witnessed this?
Aye, and come in and says, if you ever do that again, you'll never play with this club again. Went right through me, and I was only 17.
So you win with dignity, you lose with dignity?
I shot a brick.
Seriously?
Honestly, aye, that was me.
Did you actually feel that it was a major blunder, could affect your career?
Aye, because then that gave me the respect, as no matter if you get beat off your fiercest rivals, you always go and put your hand out, and I've done that ever since.
Just
it was just a bit of, like, you know what it's like when you're young, you're a bit immature and you're raging because you missed a penalty and then they beat you, and I've just stormed up the tunnel.
He clocked everything in the gaffer.
Aye.
That's the standards.
Came right down and listen, everybody's disappointed, the dressing room's quiet, the door bang hits open, you could see him and I was like, oh no, he's looking for me, and he just fucking right through me.
Tell me this, did you communicate that to your own boy who's playing professional football nowadays? Have you sat down with him and talked about these kind of things
but
you experienced?
I say to all the even when I was playing, and see, the worst game to lose is against them,
your biggest
Celtic,
rivals,
right?
Yeah.
But what you need to do is you need to put your hand out and be a man. Sore, but you need to
remember the pain.
Aye, and that's what that grilling that he gave me for 20-30 seconds, that always sat in my head, and stuck with me, and I thought to myself, no matter what happens, you always need to just be a man.
Yeah.
Aye.
Your boy Kyle's doing well down at Yeovil, but a dodgy kit. Isn't it a dodgy strip?
Let's not go into that kit.
Oh, better not.
Aye. I was
down to see him.
I never spoke to him for a couple of days when he signed, so
because of the green and white strip.
Nice away strip. Did you wear that more often?
Aye.
What colour's that?
Orange.
Oh, that's perhaps a bit more fitting. Right, we've done H, we've done G. Time for I, and I mentioned it earlier. I for ink. Let's talk tattoos. You've got tattoos. You got tattoos, Ian?
No, none.
None. Dibble's got a tattoo.
Dibble got a tattoo in Toronto.
Go on then.
Well, we're just filling about. It was Coisty. Coisty's planting a seed. Coisty just got the golden boot again. He said, I'm trying to get this. He had this wee drawing with these 2 golden boots. He did that drawing, so he just kept going on for 2 or 3 days. So Big Dibble says, I'm going to get a tattoo. We were like, well, you should get a tattoo for winning the league dibs, right?
It was 9 in a row season.
9 in a row, honestly. He played 7 games, and he got this Glasgow Rangers. And the joke was now get the tattoo, and it ended up a big massive tattoo. Glasgow Rangers Premier Champions. So what started was going to just be a wee bit of ink, ended up nearly playing a sleeve, and said to God, and we were leaving Toronto, and Big Dibs was flying to Australia to meet with his family now at the end of the season. He's going like, make sure you win the league for Dibs, and I'm getting on him. I'm like, get out, you Dibs. You're not here.
And he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. It's a shame because he asked. He was in playing with the gaffer trying. I'm playing the reserves. He just wanted to stay at the club, and it was a shame. But he came in and done a great. But he was a few drinks that day, and next minute he's
carried away.
Come back to the biggest tattoo I've ever seen in my life.
Brilliant. Andy Devil at Rangers, March to May 1997, and captured forever in his skin. Who's the most tattooed player you've seen, Barry? Tav, maybe?
There's a few last year that had I like tattoos, but people don't. Some people like them, some people don't. There was quite a few of the boys in there, like some
Fernando
had a lot of tattoos.
It's kind of normal phenomenon for players nowadays.
But the tattoos I've got means stuff to me.
Right.
It's like family stuff and all that. And I've got like dog's paws because my my wee dog passed away a few years ago, so I've got things that mean stuff to me. A lot of people just get tattoos for maybe the sake of just getting tattoos, but I've got tattoos that mean something to me and my like family members and kids and all that stuff, mum and dad and all that. So
you know, you like a tattoo.
Oh, he's another. There's loads of them. I could go through.
You know, we used to go to Turkey every week, get a tattoo in Turkey.
Usually it's teeth that's get done out there. Anybody heard from Chris Boyd recently?
Boydie? No heard from at all.
We're moving on for that one. Sharpish the Turkish teeth.
Anybody for 5 stars?
Yeah, I don't know be that far away. Finishing off with our A to Z, we've done Eye for Ink. The final eye today, international. Swapping shirts, and you've touched on it. I don't know whether you've been reading my mind for this one today, and you touched on swapping shirts with Dave Watson, that he's our big dunk at Dave Watson's testimonial. Did you swap shirts both domestically and perhaps more importantly for Scotland? And whose shirts do you have you cherish, Barry?
I never swapped shirts.
Never?
No. Well,
why not?
No, even in Champions League. No, because they meant something to me, that Rangers strip, but I always done. I get it framed and I get it a wee plaque. If it was
even if you had 2?
Aye, no. Always kept them.
Wow.
Always.
Did anybody ever ask you for yours?
Aye, but I just wasn't interested, and I don't know why. I've just never wanted to swap strips. Amazing. And I've come up against some like unbelievable players, like top of my mind, like Iniesta and Xavi and guys like that. But no, I was never.
Did they ask you for your shirts?
It's like some of my teammates, they were chasing people about trying to get them, but nah, I was
Charlie Adam, particularly.
Aye, but I was never one for swapping strips. I always kept the strips, marked it and get it framed, and that meant more to me that I played in that Rangers strip against Inter Milan or Barcelona, or Bayern Munich.
Even Scotland as well, the same?
Aye, no.
Wow.
I swapped with Matthias one time for Scotland.
Luther Matthias, the German?
The German, we beat him 1-0 in I think it was Bochum, when I ran about there, and we had that pink strip. For some reason he took it like
the salmon pink one.
Yeah, and I was wearing number 10 that night, and I heard he only swaps with number 10s. But I wasn't, you think about it, I wasn't really one for.
No,
I swapped the Marseille top, the 92 for the
goal.
With Susie or somebody?
No, I've still got that one. No, it was the captain. He gave me a C. He got injured. He was injured for the next, but he was the captain of Marseille. And honestly, you know, he hit me, and just the last kick of the ball, he hit me and picked me up.
Just, can I get your shirt?
He saw me jerseys. I was like, what hit me there?
Can I tell you, see all the strips that I get framed? They're all out the frames now because the 2 boys, I've got them. They wear them.
They wear them?
Aye, they wear them a bit.
That's sensational.
Aye, because do you know what? They're in a frame. At least they're getting worn. They look after them.
Yeah, of course. Special.
And that means something to me that they've. My 2 boys have got them.
I've got a few. Obviously, as Barry said, the cup finals, all your Rangers ones. They're on the house.
And giving it to the family, Max and
he's got them. He's got the tops and all the medals.
That's the end thing, though. The retro strips, isn't it?
Yeah.
People are dead. Like, see, like Connor, he never misses a Rangers game. And if Kyle goes, he'll go, and people will be like, what'd you get that for?
It's the real McCoy.
Aye, so.
If they only knew.
It's good, and it's good that they're wearing it.
Funny as Barry says that, I had a party. I was at Everton on loan, and I come back, and I had a party in the house, and my mate, I'm not aware, I go, stick that jersey on. He goes, no, it's a cup final jersey, right? And I was about to dish, it was off, all this money, he's like, I'll give you 600 quid for that tap. And he'd suit Jacob with my tap and go, I can't, it's that. Then he dry cleaned it and gave me it back.
Great memories.
I just threw my tap, here, stick that on. Then we went, that was the time we went to Hampden and we beat Celtic at Hampden. And we allowed them, Charlie Miller was outstanding that day.
And then it brings memories back. See, when I see them with it on, that was a brilliant night, that, man.
After the game, how you enjoyed the particular celebrations?
If I see one of the boys with it on, I'll get flashbacks and think, wow, that was brilliant, man. That was a great night, that.
That's just takes these things, read our things, you start reminiscing about things.
Well, I hope some of our chat today has inspired some flashbacks from our viewers on the 5 Stars podcast today. We've covered some terrific ground and some great former Rangers. And just finally, before we call it a day for this one, the game's coming up. Let's hope, Ian, Barry, that win at Livingston gives us a shot in the arm.
It just sounds like a broken record that now we keep saying we hope. They've just got to kick on now. Now we've had enough turmoil in terms of now the performances. Now we get out of jail card now, getting a last minute one against Livingston. So hopefully they can kick on, get that bit of confidence. A lot of tough games coming up, but a lot of good games if you go on a wee winning run.
Let's build on that, Barry.
Exactly. And listen, I was just relieved in Sunday that we got the 3 points, and then hopefully that as I mentioned earlier on in the podcast, it just breeds a wee bit of confidence. We go here. I think it'd be great to just get a point on Thursday night away from home in Europe, and then just make sure we go to Falkirk and again just pick up the 3 points.
Well, thanks for your time today. Thanks to Stealth Competitions, who sponsor the 5 Stars podcast. We'll catch you again soon. You're listening to the 5 Stars podcast, sponsored by Stealth Competitions Limited, exclusively on the 5 Stars website. Subscribe today for content from your favourite Ibrox heroes.